Great. Hi, everybody. This is a really awesome. Thank you for inviting me over here and the team. Thank you. And
here, Anne, yes, absolutely.
And without you and all your leadership and also yourself, we wouldn't be able to do this, right? We would not be able to do this. This is 36 hours later that we have how many participants from around the world?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, for the finals, we're like over 800, right? Absolutely. And that from a global reach that I think broke all records, right? 40 countries.
I believe this is the first time we're doing this live on really that scale.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Virtual and physical with 10 challenges from all these amazing leading companies. It's been phenomenal.
So on behalf of Invest Hong Kong and the Hong Kong government, we can't thank you enough for really putting this amazing event together. It's really exciting to be here and really looking forward to see the champions really pitching in front of all of us.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, great. I think we're nearly ready, right? Andy, you want to shout out, you want to say a few words? I have to say really a huge thank you. It was such a pleasure to do this together with Jardine and with you actually rallying so many amazing mentors, top leaders of all of your business units, right? To be here, to hack with the teams, 36 hours nonstop throughout the night, now judging. So we just had 2 rounds of semi-finals. Right, we had to run through. So we have 10 final teams now.
That's right. We have, yeah, so this afternoon we started at about 1 o'clock. Yeah. From 1 to 3, we had the first set of teams pitch, 10 sets of teams to 5 different challenges with judges all over the place because all the judging and judges were virtual. So they were in various places around Hong Kong, mainly their own company boardrooms, where they had got together. And then we had the participating teams who were coming in from places like India. We had people from Palo Alto. We had people from the UK, people from Poland, people from all over Hong Kong, some physically here. So it's been just action-packed. I have to say it's been a lot going on when you have physical and virtual and 10 companies and hundreds of people. It's been just so much fun for the last number of hours. But I think we're almost there. We're ready. So what's going to happen in the next hour or so is I will have the pleasure of announcing the drum roll, etc. Are there going to ask those winning teams the pitches, and again, keeping in mind our winning teams, some are physically here, some are virtual, so they're all going to pitch virtually through this live stream. We've got a wonderful selection of judges here, and who I will introduce very shortly. Karina, you're going to be a judge as well, and those judges will judge the winning teams. Now, everybody that I will call out very shortly has already won. But we are going to take one more round for the grand finale prize of 50,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is very exciting. And we're going to hear them all out. We have a tough job, we know that, because many brains much bigger than ours, I think, have already decided who's great in each of their areas. And then we'll all come back together and we will invite the teams here for their prizes and the final winning team as well for their prizes. So that's all that's going to happen in the next hour and a half. So we should get going.
Fantastic.
All right. So I just want Amy to be in the room because I know she's the co-host.
Amy, should we in the meantime actually bring our amazing MC back? You know, we're actually streaming live from main stage, and there we have Walter, who was our amazing MC throughout SIS, throughout 2 days. And come on board, Walter. Hi, Walter.
Hey, great to be here. And oh, hey, wonderful. Sorry about that. That's not like me to have my back to a camera. So I'm thrilled to be here at the final judging for Hack.Asia. This has been going on for 36 hours. So please do see what you can.
You go and get them to introduce themselves.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Well, do you mind? Why don't we get what I'll do is, I have no idea where the camera is. So, there it is. Okay, come on up and introduce yourself. Walter Jennings.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy Sheldon. I'm from JLL. I run our leasing businesses in Asia.
And Jeremy, before you go, I understand you're eminently qualified to be a technology judge based on your years of experience. So what do you think you're going to bring to the judges' table today?
I think the whole concept of trying to ensure 5 years.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming along. And we've got another judge here. Hi, I'm Walter Jennings.
Hello. Hello, this is Carly Chen. I'm the general manager from Microsoft Hong Kong.
Oh, well, we all think we know Microsoft. It's a wonderfully large business. And so what are you bringing to the judges' table today? What is your perspective? What are you looking for?
Okay, I'm here today. Indeed, only have one purpose, is we would like to inspire participants by leverage ABC, AI, big data, cloud computing, to empower more people, more organizations to achieve more.
Well, that's really inspirational, especially coming from Microsoft. You've opened the world for so many people. So thank you so much for participating. And our next esteemed judge, come on up. Hi, I'm Walter.
Nice to meet you. I'm Michael Poon from Innovate Jardines.
And Michael, you said Innovate Jardines? That's a new brand for me. Can you help unpack that?
Sure. Innovate Jardines has been around for about 3 years, and our goal, as the name implies, is to find ways that we can work more innovatively across our different businesses, and we have a lot of businesses.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the points brought up earlier, that if you've got silos and you've got people working in isolation, the more you can open up and the more you can get people cooperating and collaborating, the better.
That's why we're here today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Our next esteemed judge. Hey, I'm Walter.
John Mefford, Accenture Interactive.
Hey, so Accenture we know and Interactive we don't. Tell me what the two mean.
We're an experience agency really focused on driving experience in the digital world. And that's really where we play the best.
Fantastic. Well, and have you seen anything yet in amongst the various hacks that interests and inspires you?
Well, I'm really excited to see all the groups. I had a chance to see some of the presentations earlier today, and I'm open ears, open eyes right at this point. So,
well, great. I like a judge on the fence. So thank you very much. Our next esteemed judge. Hi, Walter Jennings.
Hi, I'm Charles Allen from HSBC, and I head up mobile and smart channels for HSBC.
Fantastic. Well, you know, over the course of the last 2 days at Startup Impact Summit, we've had a lot on fintech. So tell me your particular interests and passions.
So we've been part of the fintech scene in Hong Kong for a little while. We've seen some amazing companies that we've partnered with and worked with. My team have been quite involved, I think, in the last couple of days with some of the teams here. So really looking forward to seeing what the teams have come up with.
Great. Well, we'll try to knock your socks off, and thank you so much for participating as a judge.
Great. Thank you.
Fantastic. Now, we have, what's next, Karina?
Well, are we ready to announce the winners now? Okay, I think that's where you think words and pass on the mic.
Okay, well, thank you very much to each of our judges, and thank you as well to our hosts for the day. It's been an exciting 36 hours, so let's get down to some brass tacks and talk finalists and talk winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Hi, everyone in the room and everyone who's watching. Now we will officially kickstart the final pitch, which is sort of the last event for the Startup Impact Summit. Just a little bit on the rules before Anne tells us who the top 10 teams are. Each team will get 3 minutes to pitch, and there will be a 3-minute Q&A following that. Judges will then get 2 minutes to score and sort of just digest your presentation. I'm going to be the one who's slightly rude and stop you once you go over the 3-minute mark, just to make sure that it's fair for everyone. So try to speak in a really concise, precise manner so you cover everything that you want to cover in the 3 minute that you have. So with that said, I'll give it to Anne to tell you who the winners are, and then we will start pitching. Anne.
Fantastic, Amy. I get to do the best part of the day. So let's get right down to it. For our very first set of winners, we're going to start with the startups. For our Hactl challenge, the winner is Symphony Technologies Limited. The team leader is Alain Garnier. Well, the judges' commentary here was that they had a very strong industrial knowledge in engineering. They were very passionate throughout the mentoring sessions, very strong data analytics capabilities, and were able to provide very good results within a specific given time. So well done, Symphony. I guess you're very excited.
Hi there. Yeah, thank you so much. We're really excited. We really enjoyed the project. Really enjoyed working with you guys on it. I think it's something that's very similar to our core business, and we're really excited about running the pilot with you guys.
And no, it came down to the wire, and they finally chose Rare Elements Limited, the team leader being Ron Kwok. Saw this presentation myself, fantastic presentation. Hong Kong Land said it was the most comprehensive tool and presentations of all of the ones they saw, very mature and practical working demo, well understood the business model, incorporated technology into all parts of the process, very high flexibility on the tool to decide on what criteria to focus on. So I'm sure you're all excited, as I am, to see that again. So well done, Rare Elements, and we'll see them shortly. On Jardine International Motors, the winner is Archix Company Limited, the team leader, Jeffrey Lamb. Again, the judges said they delivered a really well presented and highly customizable solution. They showed a thorough understanding of customer needs and journey. And they had a very knowledgeable, capable, and creative team with experience in the automotive industry and very strong teamwork. So again, very excited to see them. And then for Mandarin Oriental, and I know Jeremy told me this one was right down to the wire, very, very difficult to make the decision. The teams went with Travelock, the team leader being Sudan Su, I'm sure I killed that name. Potential to replace a legacy system that they currently use, so really practical, real life example for them. Had a solution that actually hit on the top 3 pain points, and they understood what integrations they needed to get an overall return for their guests. So again, that's the 4 startups. Now, Amy, do you want to do the 4 startups first, or shall I keep on going? All right, on the student side, again, an amazing group of students, really worked hard. So for the Accenture challenge, the student winners are the Chan sisters, the team leader being Shannon Cook Hui Yi. Again, very clear link to the problem statement was the COVID-19 pandemic, a clear value proposition for a focus on customer segmentation, and very high, clear technical feasibility. So well done, Chan sisters. The next ones for Dairy Farm, our team leaders are the Manning's Farm. The winners are the Manning's Farm. And again, they demonstrated that they really understood the problem statement and Manning's very, very well. They thought through the practicality and the return on investment of the solution, and they had very clear steps to achieve the problem statement from technology through to activation. So congratulations, Manning's Farm, well done to you. For Gammon, the team that won Gammon is Elk. Elk addressed the problem statement very accurately. They prototyped their application, they used their time exceedingly well, and they actively listened to their mentors and worked really super well as a team. So well done, Team Elk from Gammon. On JLL, it was Old Hactl, team leader Lauren Ho. Now for Old Hactl, they were very good. They were clear on their first priority was how the solution would impact their staff. They used technology as the enhancement, but not as an actual solution. And their energy and their camaraderie was palpable, they said. And they really, their team, their staff wants to collaborate with you. So well done, Old Hactl. Well done, that's fantastic news. On the JRG and Microsoft side, the winners are Foodie Express. This was, again, another clearly articulated solution with an excellent presentation, hitting all of the key messages. And the solution was practical, reliable, been designed with care, and the demo was within the time frame, short time frame, their capability and knowledge was really very, very clear and very applicable. So well done, Foodie Express. And then finally, we've got the HSBC challenge. And the leaders for the HSBC side add-on is EcoSafe, and they were actually within the Accenture challenge. So HSBC went across 5 of them and was really evaluating how best that data was used in all aspects, and they have gone for EcoSafe. So congratulations to all the teams. I know we're ready to see them all one more time. So we kick off. Amy, you're in charge. She's very good at this. So Amy, over to you.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, and you can keep that mic later for your questions. I'm sure there will be lots. So just now, I think we have the winning team from Hactl.
So we're Symphony. We're all about AI, IoT, predictive maintenance. So we have a great team behind us. Steve formerly went to Harvard University and Columbia. Dr. Ludovic has a PhD in machine learning. So we have a lot of great knowledge to try and work on this project. So the problem that we were tackling and the potential impact was huge. So we were provided with the data that we looked through from the BSS, the CSS, and so forth. And inside this data, we found that there was 2 different separate data systems. So the data hadn't been collaborated together. So what we looked at was we derived from this the weather data. So we found from Hong Kong Observatory the weather data and also derived the man hours. And we used a sort of 5 whys approach to this and looking deep into what the actual root cause analysis was and what the problem was. So what we found inside the data was analyze structure of the data and identifying the major items most frequently with faults, and then looking at the patterns for strong possibilities and collaborations. So when we saw that the errors, we can see the forecasting and errors, which we managed to move out together. And we can see that there was no direct correlation between the tonnage and the downtime. And then we found that the number of faults was a better predictor for how it can be forecasted. So we're seeing here that on the errors of the tonnage forecast, we can calculate that with the downtime, and these lines align much better. So our hypothesis is that staffing decisions are based on the forecasted tonnage, and that this has some days and longer downtime, right? So when we look at some of the fault types here, we can see that using the BSS data, we were able to find the most common fault types. And then we can see here clearly that the motor timeouts was a large impact for there. And then again, we can see that a few workers worked on a large amount of the faults. So the fault 505 faults was mostly worked on by kind of 1 worker. And then we can see this again graphed out. So when we go into our technical solution, we see this 2-tiered. So there's a real-time analytics and the machine learning, and this is our app underneath. We can do some of this real-time data analytics. We can see some of in the left-hand side, this is like a heat mapping. So we can see a heat map of where that usage is. We can run this downtime. This is actually our app that we're already using with other clients. This is our logbook. So this logbook will give you man hours and information on the deployment. And then we can do further things like machine learning. Thanks.
Hey, it's Charles Allen from HSBC. We're getting a little bit of echo. Great. In terms of what you managed to get to, were you able to, were you predicting likely downtime, and did you get to a sort of a value of downtime and how much you might be able to reduce it by as part of this?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were getting into, is we were able to analyze some of that peak downtime and realize what was the actual root cause behind those downtimes, and realizing that the way that they were approaching it, it felt like the way the engineering team told me is it was kind of focusing just heavily on the engineering and just doing the same thing over and over again, and not revolutionizingly looking at the whole picture, looking at everything, and then digging down into it. So that's what we were able to do, and then we created some values on that as well.
Hey, so were you, in terms of the treatments that you think they would be able to apply as based on the insights you're generating, could you just give a sense of what would be the sorts of things that they would be able to do based on the insights you got?
So some of the things that they could do easily was the sensors that they were using. One of the sensors that fails the most is fails potentially due to rainfall. So potentially the image sensors are failing during rain times, and water or moisture might be getting into those sensors, and it may be causing that. So an anti-reflective coating on that image sensor during rain times would prevent some of the downtimes, for example.
This is really interesting. Is this something I would use all the time, or is this just kind of a one-off pain point? I'd figure it out, I'd correct it, and I'd move on. So I just want to understand the applicability of this business model. Is this something that would run on my systems always, or is it just for troubleshooting?
Yeah, so we actually have a company that basically works on predictive maintenance. So we have some customers that we're working with at the moment. What we're doing is taking all of this existing data and providing you two things. One, real life analytics right now, so you can see what your machines are running. You can see kind of heat maps, heat charts, see kind of usage data, and also you're able to then see later data. And what we work on is visualizing this data in a really easy and simplistic way. So a lot of stuff is focused to engineering and looking at those numbers and data. And what we're trying to create is a visual interface. The example we like to give is it's kind of like a car. In the old days for a car, you could put a dipstick in, you could look at the oil level and look at the color with a color chart and understand your oil quality. But now on the dashboard of your car, it tells you that oil status in an easy to understand way. And that's basically what we're trying to bring into predictive maintenance.
Based on the insight you get, what's your recommendation to change the business operation process so that Hactl can get the benefit?
Yeah, so it looks like the biggest issue that they have at the moment is that the two data sets are essentially incompatible with each other. So there needs to be something that goes in between the two data sets. I mean, even things like the date format between the two data sets are incompatible with each other. So by not having compatible data sets that can simultaneously be converted into one thing to do analysis from, it's impossible to really get the whole picture of what's going on without trying to streamline these two data sources into one system.
Okay, I think that's all we have time for. Thank you. Congratulations for winning. At the very least, maybe you will also take home this prize. Do stay on the line, listen to all the other pitches, and we'll call you back later for some maybe other Q&A on your experiences. So now we'll give the judge 2 minutes to digest, to score, and also for the Zoom admin to bring up the next pitching team from Hong Kong land, Rare Elements. Okay, judges are being very efficient. So Rare Elements, just a little bit of background about the Hong Kong land problem statement. Hong Kong land is looking for data-driven solutions to figure out a way on how we can find new tenants for all of the malls that we have across Asia and also globally. So Rare Elements has a very good solution that they will share more with us about.
Hello everyone, we're Rare Elements, and today we want to empower you guys to infuse data-driven consumer insight into the art of tenant selection. You guys face different obstacles. Firstly, relatively qualitative evaluation criteria. Then for well-known brands, way too much information. For lesser-known brands, some or even you don't know where to find that information. So we want to leverage AI and machine learning to help you mitigate this problem. We start looking at your entire portfolio of tenants. Here we use the example of landmark across 200 different tenants across different dimensions. Let's say you want to replace 5 of the tenants. Then you start with our research flow that highlights different kind of macro trends under different categories. But the beauty of our solution is not only we highlight macro trends, but also different potential new tenants that you guys can be looking into. For example, you guys want to look into replacing Dolce & Gabbana for a start. So let's say you want to find a brand that is relatively similar in terms of its awareness, but with a better reputation. So you can just use our filtering system and look into different potential brands. For example, here, one of the options can be Norse Project, which is a great brand from Copenhagen, and you see with different age group and gender information you guys can reference as well. But majority of the time, you guys aren't looking into replacing just one, but a basket of different tenants. So we built a synergy map so you guys can have a basket of different potential tenants that work together much better. We invigorate one another. How exactly did we come up with these scores in terms of awareness, reputation, brand health, and also product and service quality? We do that by scouring through the entire internet in Chinese and English across different sources. and we turn them into different scores with our natural language processing powered and artificial intelligence powered algorithm. For example, this is the example of brand health, which we've broken down into 6 different categories, which is also benchmarked with the individual brand's competitor as well, since all of the information are public. So let's zoom back out a little bit. We started with collecting information, and then we managed them, and then we analyzed them, and then we visualized them. We scoured many different external sources in Chinese and English, and then regardless of whether they're structured or not, we cleanse them and feed them into our AI-powered NLP processing valuation algorithm. And we turn them into 4 main categories of scores, and with 3 main different visualization, starting with the bigger trends, and then on your portfolio, so the tenant mix and individual tenants. But the power of our tool is not just limited to here, but also enabled by your internal sources. Let's say your loyalty program in your CRM or your app data for Landmark. For example, those chat information within the app can be a great indication of the product and service quality of the application. And this is all powered by the great technology from Microsoft Azure and visualized with Power BI. And our solution improved the entire end-to-end process of a tenant's lifecycle from sourcing, evaluation, operations, and renewal, in which that 38% of the retail space right now this year is up for renewal, and that's $89 million for you guys. So that's definitely something you guys should consider. And we actually built a model which you guys can ask more about it later on. So the retail scene is changing really quickly, and you guys are of course adapting, but tenant selection today is in the mall. In the future, it can be digital. With the Landmark application, it can be a marketplace. So this is very important, and we want to be your partner, to be your data partner for tenant selection in order for you to craft the experience for you guys, but also the best omni-channel experience for your customers, your guests, and your advocates as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Definitely had very high energy, even though it was the second time. Any questions?
You talked a lot about existing brands and brand strength, etc. How would this model pick up the new emerging trends, pop-up shops, ideas, etc.?
Apologies, there was a little bit of echo here. Are you guys asking about the trend?
Yeah, just you talked, a lot of what you talk about is information that exists on the internet, which is all about existing brands and comparisons. I was just interested in the new emerging trends in retail and the nature of those tenants. How are they picked up?
Awesome. So we actually, this is kind of our methodology here. So to differentiate awareness and also trend is defined by a certain search in terms of its coverage. So actually we can identify trend if there is a sudden lift in terms of its slope. But so let's say we know that there's a sudden lift in slope. How do we achieve that threshold? We do that by actually scraping the entire internet. For recent trend we have appeared in the APAC region in the past 2 years. And then we kind of average them currently for illustrative purposes. So we got a threshold. So anything about that and see a sudden surge in that particular time period, we define it as trend. And we can able to do that with larger trends and also with individual brand names as well.
Hey, just it's in terms of building the model and the approach of taking the data sets you've created and then using them to forecast future likely positive or good tenants. Did you think about how you'd backtest that? So existing data about existing good tenants and how they looked on your models, and then whether it's a good predictor of future good tenants.
Right. So this is actually a study we're doing with a local university right now to prove our model to be correct. So far, we're working with 2 institutes into publishing a white paper out right now. So we're looking forward to that. It should be coming in the next couple of months. But we have done similar models in the past where we're using consumer transaction information in doing the basket analysis to predicting the future shopping behaviors. And we believe that the Hong Kong land situation is very similar, whereas Hong Kong is a large landlord within their portfolio. We have a lot of tenants, which is very similar to the basket analysis we have done in the past.
This time around, we aren't able to illustrate it with actual data because since we don't have access, for example, to the CRM and POS data, but if we're able to work on that, it's definitely workable since Ron has mentioned we have similar experiences as well.
Maybe one last question. This seemed like a very smooth presentation, at least the second time around. What do you think is your biggest challenge to implement all the things that you just said?
I think biggest challenge would be the number of brands that's out there right now. So ever since the challenge started, we started locating the different brands that's coming up in the various regions. And that list is going to keep growing. And it's not something that only we are going to be scraping off the internet, but we do rely on Hong Kong Land's expertise into helping us identify to be adding to our list. Because as much as a science that this exercise is, it's a lot. I mean, like some of the competitors said, it's an art in selecting this, right? It's not just purely data, but a bit of an art on how do you handpick these niche brands together to make things work. So I think that would be the challenge that we haven't had before.
And at the same time, I think this challenge also, definitely represent a great potential as well, because there are so many brands that can be scraped. So we know with Hong Kong Land support, we are able to better limit it. But at the same time, because there's so much information for us to scrape as well, is for example, in terms of our impact, for example, for evaluation, we're saving a lot of man hours as well. So it's a great challenge, which can bring in great impact. And we definitely think it's mitigatable when working in terms of really narrowing the scope. So we are not doing the entire internet, for example.
Looking forward to seeing some new tenants at Hong Kong Land malls in the next few months. Kent and the team will make it happen after working with you guys. So thank you. We'll give the judges maybe a very short amount of time to score it, then we'll move on to the next presentation. So the next team is Archix Limited, Archik, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. They are the winner of the Jardine International Multures Challenge. So let me tell you a little bit more about the challenge. Jardine's International Multures, some of you might recognize Zongfu as a brand, maybe not JIM as a brand. They're trying to create exceptional mobility and lifestyle experiences for the specific target segment that they serve. Not just that, but to also maybe expand into new other segments that they previously couldn't really target. An example could be the female segment, trying to target the female segment for Mercedes-Benz vehicles, apart from the traditional sort of group that they usually have.
Great. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Archix. So today our challenge is to help Jim design exciting mobility lifestyle opportunities and expand beyond car sales and servicing. And we have chosen our target audience to be millennials. Here you can see the current journey for Jim customers. Basically, it only really starts when you're decided you want a car and you go to the showroom for options. And the only later touch point is when your car actually fails and you want it fixed. So there is a huge gap before this major decision. Today, our proposal is to engage and lock in millennials as Jim community members long before the car purchase decision with rewarding digital experiences and a club space that is not at all intimidating.
So our concept for laying out the physical space is to provide a hub space that is as comfortable as possible for the millennials. Unlike a conventional showroom with receptionists and salespeople, there is no urge here to buy a car, and they can still be involved in the Jim community. Upon entry, you would first check in digitally with a phone, and then they are basically free to roam in the space however they like. There is a communal space, a cafe, workshops, and possibly partnered pop-up stores to choose from. Also highlighted is a setting like the Genius Bar. It is a place to provide an opportunity for the millennials to casually talk about cars with Jim professionals and car enthusiasts. In between these pockets of spaces, we also designed a car showcase device, one that is slightly obscures itself so that it does not become the center of attention. It's made with a series of pivoted screens that opens and closes, controlled by the activities at different times of the day or activated by the user that passes by. It can be integrated with LED screens or projections to feed user-specific information or to show videos of the car in action. The inlay translucent material of the screens is replaceable and adapts to match with the character of the car displayed. For example, in the previous slide, the curved glass panels creates a sense of speed for the sports car, whereas here you can see the green walls representing the adventurous side of the SUVs.
So that was an amazing physical space, but the digital journey starts even before that. By downloading our digital app, millennials get discounts at the club and can sign up to exclusive events like car model launches. Then complete surveys to build a profile, which yield great customer data for Jim. And this profile is used to personalize their visit at the club. So you can imagine checking in at the club and hearing your favorite brand. Beyond this is a wider Jim community program where you can collect VIP points for club spending and doing online activities to redeem for exclusive event experiences, such as driving simulator rides. encouraging millennials to come to the club regularly. Benefits extend well beyond the club with discounts and free trials by partners such as Mandarin Oriental, which would create revenue sharing opportunities for Jim. In summary, we began with this short customer journey and have now completed it in full. Engaging millennials early and locking them into the Jim community and enabling a full customer journey for Jim members. We're happy to take any questions.
If Michael has a mic.
Hi, thanks for sharing your good idea. My question is, well, you know what you propose is Millennium One. Do you have any supporting data or where you get the insight?
In terms of the data for millennial, for what kind of millennial data?
I think it's more trying to understand how do you know that is what millennial wants, right?
Right,
By
actually,
proposing the green.
Sure, actually, thank you. And I think that is from our personal experience. So actually over the weekend, we went to a rival car dealership and we stepped in, and then we were asked, what our budget is, what car we want, what purpose we want for our car to be. And then when they knew we were just browsing around, they left us alone. And we felt really intimidated around this huge showroom. And we're like, actually for millennials, first, the car showroom doesn't have to be something that's intimidating. We want them to come in and enjoy the space. But second, more to this point, we want to lock in millennials before they purchase a car. Our target audience, millennials, they're 20 something, they're just starting work. They're probably not buying the car right now. But for millennials, we want to lock them in as Jim members. So we want them to come to the club. And the club for us is not a car sales room. It's for them to come in, engage the brand, know the Jim brand, experience events that are related to cars. They can see a car, but Jeff Lam designed it to be slightly hidden. So it's not about coming to buy a car. You're coming to enjoy the Jim experience. And when you're ready to purchase a car, you can go to the Genius Bar, ask questions, and then you're halfway in the door already. So I think hopefully that makes it more easy for them to make the decision towards purchasing at Jim.
Great. So let me ask you, how do your millennials get to know you're aware about your app and what incentivizes them to download it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a question asked by the Jim leadership team as well. So here we try to incentivize them with discounts and VIP points. So for myself, I use this Lee Gardens Club app quite often. So they launched this, I think, last year, where every spend that you do at their shopping malls, you get VIP points and can redeem for exclusive events and get discounts. So millennials are always on their phone. They're always looking for exclusive discounts. They're always looking for something special. So by downloading this app, they can access something that is not available to other people. They can get discounts that that's relevant for cost-conscious millennials as well.
Last question.
Yeah, I mean, there's several car companies around that have started cafes and bars, and I kind of see similar themes here. What really differentiates this space to bring particularly millennials who have short distraction, very short attention spans to be in a space? What keeps them coming back and really enjoying that space?
Yeah, thank you. And I think the Jim leadership again asked this question. They asked if we've been to Mercedes-Me, which is quite a successful concept in Hong Kong. And our answer is that space is a restaurant with a car. So you go there, you have a meal, you take a picture with the car, you like the brand and you like the culture, you share it, and then it's finished. So you're not locking them in a continuous engagement. So this space is just one touch point where we have really, it's a welcoming space. You can come for cafes and bars, but it's also a membership. And the digital app is the one that keeps them coming back. And the loyalty scheme is the one that keeps them coming back. With encouragements that you can come back, you can get discounts at the cafe, you can redeem points, and then we have regular events such as mini concerts. There's a pop-up event space in this space as well. So we have monthly events such as millennials. I think that could be mini concerts. And
so definitely, pop-up spaces, recurring visits are key themes that we've been hearing from a lot of these pitches. Thank you guys for your time. I think that's all we have time for. Judges, maybe it's time for you to score them and we can move on to the next winning team. So a lot of the times our journeys with the hotels happen once we arrive at the Mandarin Oriental hotels. But how do we help guests simplify and improve their experiences of finding what to do, scheduling what to do in their destination before they even get to the hotel, rather than relying just on the concierge? What else can Mandarin Oriental do to help with the overall experience? So can we bring up the team Travelog? Hi guys.
Hi from my side, my name is Sebastian. I would like to show you what we consider as a bespoke experience for Mandarin Oriental. So first of all, it's very important for us to say that we don't want to replace the concierge with our solution. We rather see ourselves as a supporting tool to further enhance the guest experience, as well as boost the effectiveness and efficiency of the concierge teams. So from what we learned in the last days, challenges are mainly that guests cannot easily access recommendations of the concierge digitally, and due to the diversity of system landscape, daily work of concierge is not as efficient as it could be. So what we tackle with our solution on the one hand is giving guests a seamlessly and digital experience. So our solution is fully integrated in the Fans of MO recognition program, which is very important for Mandarin Oriental, as it's the only way to collect guest information on a very deep basis without GDPR constraints. Guests can easily do a self-onboarding in our solution to specify their interests and preferences, and by that, getting access to recommendations that the Mandarin concierge provide. That's very important. Of course, we also use the information that is already stored in the own systems like iReckon to get a clear knowledge about individual guests. In addition, they can directly request bookings via standardized mask and directly get in contact with the concierge teams. So for Mandarin, most notably, it's the chance to get in contact with guests even before, within, and after their stay. So it's also possible to get bespoke recommendations, but even without contacting the team in the first place. That's important because it's only based on the technology behind it, and it's not necessary to reach out to a physical person. Even the recommendations are from physical persons. So on the other side, we provide an all-in-one solution for concierge. It is not necessary anymore to switch between systems. We update the data automatically and unify the data through smart place tagging, for example. And we provide an easy solution to maintain, edit, and add places and guest profiles to the system. So in addition, the concierge has the possibility to use an integrated feedback loop in order to further enhance the quality of recommendations. Bringing all the parts together, it is, let's say, from our side, we build a bridge between all existing systems at Mandarin Oriental. Our solution can be integrated via an API, or what we would prefer, of course, as a fully integrated all-in-one solution. And so in the end, it's an all-in-one solution accessible for guests and concierge, likewise, helping to improve the daily work of the concierge and most notably, the guest experience of Mandarin Oriental. So that's for the first moment from our side. I would love to answer your questions now. And yeah, feel free to ask anything you would like to know. Thank you.
So thanks for the presentation. You know, a lot of the data that gets collected in these sort of situations is a who, what, when, and where. How do you project the why people are looking for what they're looking for? How do you get the personalization and localization into that?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, well, so actually it's the USP of Travelog is that we bring together, let's say, specific target groups and their individual needs and the, let's say, most matching places. So in the end, it's on the one hand based on the information that concierge collect, of course, yeah. But on the other hand, it's, for example, also based on a, let's say, self-onboarding a guest can do. So guests can choose their interests. They can choose the, for example, kitchen styles, occasions, what they are searching for, and all that on a very, very deep level. And so we get to know as much as we need to know of the persons in order to really give curated and highly bespoke experiences or recommendations to the guests. We can't hear you. Sorry, we can't hear you.
You set up, is it a piece of software? Is it an ongoing service? How do you monetize?
Yeah, it's an integrated software, so software as a service. So it would come along, let's say, with an onboarding of an, let's say, customized or individualized solution, let's say fitting to the needs of Mandarin, and then it's based on a software as a service business model.
Right. You mentioned a feedback loop, which I took to mean understanding if the recommendations that the system was giving were being, acted on by the guests. How does that piece work? How do you know that the recommendations are actually of value to the guests?
Okay, so actually within the tool that you, for example, also see here on the screen, so the concierge team gets, let's say, notified whenever a user is logged in defense of Mandarin Oriental system and is, let's say, dealing with the things on the platform. For example, viewing details of places, request bookings and stuff like that. So it's directly in their, let's say, in their focus when guests are searching for something special or interacting with the platform. And so then they also, of course, get notified after a guest visited a place. So they can reach out to the guests. The system can ask automatically guests in the platform, hey, were you satisfied with the place that we recommended to you? How do you like it? How did it match with your individual, let's say, need you had? So that's actually a two-sided system. The one is automatically, the other way.
My question, sorry, one last question. From a consumer point of view, if I'm a guest, how do you hook me into using this as opposed to like a TripAdvisor or something similar?
Okay, because in the first place, as I said, it's our USP to dig way more deeper into places than you can, for example, do on TripAdvisor. Then on the other side, what you see here is only the database that, let's say, Mandarin Oriental already has in place. So the database can either be filled by the concierge, or let's say it's enriched by data that comes from Travelog. But the data is from the beginning on highly curated to the target group of Mandarin. So you don't find any, let's say, pizza places or pasta places or Asian places on the platform. It's, let's say, they have to fulfill a very high
I think looking forward to sort of more tailored content, right, specific to the Mandarin Oriental guests. Thank you to the Travelog team. I'm sorry, that's all we have time for. Sorry to cut you off halfway. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So thank you. That's the last of the startup who's pitching. Now we have the 6 other students team that will pitch. So sticking to the theme of travel, for the Accenture challenge, ready for takeoff, Accenture is trying to find ways to help the travel industry regain customer confidence and restore tourism demand. So if you look in the room, some of us are wearing masks because, this COVID sort of is happening right now. And we all want to travel. Probably, at least I do, but will be very difficult to. But hopefully, maybe the Chan sisters will have a solution that will help me reignite that passion. Just a note, Chan sisters, just to make sure that we can hear you clearly. If you're not the one who's speaking, mute yourself. Yes, that was the note. So I'm not sure if they're all, their surnames are all Chan, but let's wait for their pitch.
So hi everyone, East-Tours is a compact app that ensures travelers in their entire journey. We can help tour operators regain consumer confidence by providing live information and ensure hygiene and contactless experience in a short run, shifting to a sustainable model in the long run. COVID-19 has altered travelers' expectations and concern. We identified and mapped out 4 customer segments. Our primary consumers, family and seniors, have great fears and lowest propensity to travel. Their pre-trip concerns are mainly health issues. Our secondary consumers, youths and B-leggers, are less fearful but yet transparent information. All consumers require good hygiene and contactless touchpoints during the trip. Post-trip, primary consumers still have health issues while secondary consumers take an activist mindset and want to educate their community. Let's take a look at Chan, who's booking a trip with his family.
Welcome to our app East-Tour. Chan is a father of 2 and is worried about his children's health when traveling. In this case, he is interested in booking a family-friendly trip and filters his travel preferences accordingly. He's able to view tour packages most suited to his travel profile. together with comprehensive safety metric, contactless and hygiene for his peace of mind. So Chan has decided to purchase the Hong Kong tour package, and through partnerships with travel attractions and hotels, the travel experience we have curated is focused on being contactless and represented through the Green Shield logo. All travel documents are digital e-tickets and easily accessible on the app. He only has to scan the QR code to access the attraction. Once he has entered Disneyland, Chan is able to access the crowd control dashboard, where he can receive real-time information on the crowd level at each attraction in the park and plan his visit accordingly. However, Chan's son fell sick during the trip, and he isn't familiar with the local doctor network. Via the telehealth chatbot system, Chan is able to book a doctor e-consultation and receive professional medical advice quickly through the app. After a fun and safe trip with his family, Chan is able to leave reviews for his tour package with a focus on hygiene and safety metrics. Chan's feedback can be further used to generate personalized travel recommendations to enhance his user experience on the app.
So with that, eStore helps tour operators shift towards a more sustainable business model in the long run. Customer data will serve as a key asset to curate offerings and adding new revenue streams through data monetization in the long run, reducing their physical assets and fixed costs to increase resilience, growth, and strengthen the tour ecosystem as we incorporate integrated tech solutions to further connect the key stakeholders. We plan to enter the market through a targeted user acquisition strategy via branding and user-generated content. In short, our key value proposition lies in maximization of hygiene, safety, and contactless travel, value adding to the whole travel ecosystem with the ability to scale. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good presentation. Questions?
Hey, so I love the idea of a heat map for different tourist attractions. Have you thought about how you get the data for that? How you get enough people using your app or a set of apps that would allow you to show that information?
Yeah, so in terms of getting the crowd level data, we are thinking of pulling through either API, like Google crowd level API, or because right now most of the attraction has ticket scanning, so we can actually use that as a crowd level indicator as well. Or we are also exploring the possibilities of partnering with the places of interest and having them to install camera, because having all this data on the platform gives customer more information, so make them more willing to travel, as well as it's a kind of like an advertisement platform for the place of interest or the tour package as well. Yeah.
Great question. I think Jeremy.
Yeah, just how are you going to be a member to do this, or how are you going to, how do you track people and how do you get it paid for?
Sorry, can you repeat your question? You mean a member of the application or like?
Yeah, do you have to become a member and then how do you monetize it?
So the point of the application is for to bring the tour operator business online. So it's not so it's through we are selling like a package tour, but through an application instead. So this in the case of monetizing it, we are using the same business model as the original tour operators, which is to take commission from our sales, as well as in the long run, we aim to build the business model on customer data revenue as well, and to expand into further monetize these streams of revenue.
I have a follow-up question is regarding about the business model. Who fund this system? Yeah, how you fund this system and how you generate the revenue?
Yeah, great question. So like what Vanessa has mentioned, we're not trying to disrupt, we're not trying to replace tour operators, but instead of shifting from offline point of sales, we just shift it online and incorporate safety measures for the COVID-19 pandemic. So I think our primary revenue, like what my teammate has mentioned, is via tour operator revenue, where we sell service package deals or take a commission from our supplier side. Yeah. And as we spend, we'll create more like an omni-channel marketing strategy or business strategy to further penetrate the market.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
So the next challenge is another student team. They're solving the dairy farm challenge, and the team name's Manning's Farm. Just a little bit of background. Shout out to Manning's Hong Kong e-commerce store. It went live last month. So if anyone wants to buy any health and beauty related products, please go onto the site. Gordon's right there. So help with the sales of the website. So the team is looking for new ways to predict and meet customers' demands for health and beauty in Asia. So let's see what the Manning's Farm team has come up with.
Good afternoon, judges. Today, we are here to present an innovative solution not just relevant to dairy farm, but a lot of Jardine's retailing subsidiaries. Currently, Manning is collecting descriptive data such as purchase history, traffic volume, and etc. But the question here that we want to address today is, how can we create predictive data that is anticipating the user needs before they even know it? After much consultation with our mentors, Karen, Aaron, and Ian from Dairy Farm, we have created Manning's X, an all-in-one predictive platform with our novel system architecture backend and an innovative mobile app front end. For the backend, we have created the Manning's Analytics. This uses our very own proprietary algorithm to collect product information, scrape public sentiment, calculate a rising popularity score that lets Manning discover up and coming products. How does it work? Firstly, we collect two key public data points. First, from Amazon to build an extensive database repository and reviews using Selenium. Second, from YouTube product reviews by influencers using YouTube's API. Next, using Microsoft Azure keyword extraction and sentiment analysis API, we have gained sentiment insights of different products. But here is where we differentiate ourselves with our innovation. We have built our own architecture using the latest state-of-the-art recommender system called the Wide and Deep Learning Model. We have then trained the database using Keras and devised an algorithm that uses the data collected to calculate a predictability score, like what you can see in here as this formula, using the weighted sum of comments and ratings. Employees in Manning's can then access these insights and what you can see in our demo via our web application and update the marketing, supply chain, and inventory teams accordingly. But that isn't all. We need to create a way to lock in sales. Hence, we have created the Manning's Companion. Building on top of the current Manning's app, we added useful functionalities that answers users' health and beauty needs because that's what Manning's are for. At the same time, we make it convenient for users to purchase on the app itself, driving higher conversion. Now, suppose I'm a Manning user. Using social login, I can use the app to track my health data, such as daily nutrition, skin patterns, my fitness level, etc. But how does this help Manning's? Manning Analytics earlier showed and allowed Manning's to recommend trending products and that users may never know, right? But Manning's Companions lock it in because once Manning Companions collect health and data points, we are able to directly offer personalized discounts, etc. If I logged in that I just grew a pimple or acne, I can get discounts right away for acne cream. This is amazing, as personalized discounts lock in sales conversion by 55%, as proven from Amazon. The feedback loop over here that you can see will also allow Manning to scale the database as more and more independent data gets collected rather than always scraping from the internet. Now, our team here didn't come to play, we came to hack because our comprehensive solution targets a 5.6 times return on investment with an 8-month implementation timeline. By April 2021, as you can see, we forecast that we can sell to other parts of North Asia. The business model also looks at an increased 15.4 million additional sales generated from better product recommendations. Our solution, lastly, is applicable to not just products, but services and can scale well beyond Manning.
So I think we have to pause you right there, but judges can definitely ask you questions about the next few slides.
Thank you so much. I think that your Manning's X.
Which is your key one slide you haven't shown yet?
Sorry?
Is there a key slide that you want to spend more time talking on?
Oh no, this is actually the last slide. This is our slide navigation as well as our prepared Q&As for our tech expertise over here. So we just want to say that we're Manning's X, so we're very proud to bring all of Jardine's, any other client to explore, experiment, and experience. We are Manning's X. Thank you.
So So we are now open to Q&A. I think there's some lag. There is going to be some
Questions?
Sorry, we were not able to.
How much is that a game changer in the point of sales itself, in store, in the physical store?
Sure. Sorry, I think we missed the first part of the question, but just to understand, you're talking about in-store, how we can sort of translate this insight into in-store conversion.
How is that a game changer in store?
Great. So first of all, the current solution that we're focusing on right now is not meant to be in-store. It's a very online touch point, but we definitely did think about converting consumers to click and collect in store. So currently Mannings has like a service offering called Click and Collect, where our customers actually tend to buy online, but actually go in store to collect. So one potential use case where we can actually use this insight and this personalized data is this notion of personalized discounts. Now, I think Pitch mentioned that we could do it on the app, but how about in store? So you could go and actually, you could have and collect a product that you've bought online or actually been rewarded online from our game, from our app. But afterwards, the sales representative will scan your code and realize, hey, you like acne cream or you like some sort of product, and it'll recommend in-store limited time offerings for you to buy. So we feel that that could be some potential form of conversion that we could actually achieve in store.
I'm interested in the first part of your presentation. You were talking about the bringing in the external data sets from the Amazon data set and I think the YouTube likes. Do you think this has application? So you can use that in a couple of different ways. You could use that to recommend for customers. You could also use it to recommend to Mannings buyers that they should stock additional products. Did you think about both of those ones? And do you think there's value on the Mannings buyer recommend and think about this product set?
Yeah. So actually, we would love to show you our demo in particular with regards to inventory management. So first of all, when you start scraping the web, you'll be able to navigate into the scrape data function. But here's really where the dashboard comes in. So first, you'll be able to see the health and top health and beauty trending products. And because we use our very own algorithms that later my member will explain, we also be able to get and rank the different items. But on top of that, we can also compare brands. So over time, let's say Eskinol is popularly rising. You can see what sort of items they have. But more importantly, see how much inventory Mannings have in hand. Does Manning have enough items to supplement that sort of demand? And lastly, we can also see the user activity that's linked to the Mannings companion. And this is very much in line. That's why it's creating a loop.
So I kind of want to explain like how we get the score using our novel architecture. So let me just go back to the slides. I'm sorry.
Really quick.
Okay, I'll be fast. So this is basically like a brief overview of our system architecture. As you can see, there's two parts to it. There's product recommendation and there's product sentiment analysis. So for product recommendation, we are using the so-called the state-of-the-art wide and deep learning model and to predict ratings. And for product sentiment analysis, we are using Azure API, sentiment analysis API to predict sentiments for products. And now after that, we basically use this formula, 2.63 times with the 70% ratings and 30% comments, and then we will get the Manning score. And as you can see, like here's our code. So we basically implemented everything within like these 36 hours. We implemented the wide and deep learning model for product recommendation. We built a YouTube scraper, as you can see. We also built we also did like an analysis on how you can actually calculate the Manning score. So as you can see, it's actually really
Work done in the last 36 hours. Thank you guys. They stayed overnight last night right next door. So clearly staying over allowed them to work more efficiently and work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, now, as the judges score, let me tell you a little bit more about the next team that we're talking to. So they're solving the Gammon challenge, which is trying to building robust data foundations. Gammon is looking for new IoT and tech solutions to generate detailed analytics that can improve the productivity, efficiency across all of the different sites that Gammon has. So the team who won is ELK. I'm sure the team will tell us how to pronounce the team name later.
So yes, we are called Team Elk. Actually just the animal's name, nothing too special behind the name. We are Darren and I, we are mechanical engineering students, and Amelina, she's a computer engineering student, and we are from Singapore. So if everyone's good and you can hear me, I'm ready to start. Good evening, judges and fellow hackers. I'm Varun from Team Elk, and we're here to pitch our solution that builds a robust data foundation in Gammon and makes manpower management efficient. You've received the attendance dataset. There were over 200,000 entries with 2.2 million man-hours clocked in 2 years. What did we gather? We realized that through data analytics, there was more we could do with the data. Take carpenters, for example. 3 companies provided them, and they all had vastly different average man-hours. This could be due to two varying factors. Firstly is the complexities of their projects, and the second one being the differing standards between the carpenters from different companies. Gammon has a lot of data on which workers are on the site, but they do not know what the workers are doing specifically. Therefore, there is a need for more relevant data to definitively pinpoint the reason for the variances, and this will help manpower management in the future. So why manpower productivity? Lund University predicts that 17% of paid manpower is wasted. 23% of that is wasted while waiting for taskings. Labor is the most essential element in the construction industry. Large workforce equates to managerial issues, and wages also is a significant part of overheads. So therefore, when you look at data collection is considered to be time intensive, and it also adds a certain amount of added responsibility which could be counterproductive. So the ability to have accurate visualizations of each worker's progress will aid with the overall trade-by-trade sequencing. So he came up with the question, how might we collect more useful data from our workforce to improve productivity without hampering their operations? Let me introduce Gammon Connect. GC for short is a workforce management app that will be used by all construction employees. This allows for an increased efficiency, accountability, and reliability of the services provided. In the app, one second while the video plays. Okay. In the app, the workers sign in and check into the specific work site that they're working at. We hope this could replace the current hand key systems and reduce the bottlenecks at site. Then after, they would carry out a health declaration to follow the COVID-19 regulations. Let's hop over to the team leader's view. We can see how he allocates tasks to various workers, and this would appear on their screens after they check in. They can select when they start the task, and after they complete the task, they can take a break and wait for approval from their superior. Another feature includes an anonymous feedback submission link, which then pushes for better safety standards within the worksite. We have put forth an implementation strategy that looks into the progressive rollout of the app to all 4 business divisions within 2 short years. The project is forecasted to cost $140,000 and save close to $3 million in 5 years. This does not take into account the savings generated from dispute resolution. In the long term, we can assure that we improve safety, provide accurate timeline predictions, effectively allocate resources, and minimize waste. The app can also be used to streamline COVID-19 healthcare processes and dispute resolution. I believe all these line up with the Gammon 25x25 corporate strategy. In the future, the app can also be used to monitor workers' health, accurately allocate resources, and track workers' location. Do let us know if we can give you a full walkthrough to the app.
So we have a question from Kelly.
Thanks for sharing on some concept that can save manpower, but can you share with us how your apps can done any prototype or proof can really save manpower? Because I got no sort of idea why it can save manpower after using the apps.
Let me go back to how the construction industry works nowadays. So for example, you get a tasking in the beginning of the day and they go on to work with the tasking. So say they allocated a task of, let's say, pouring concrete for a certain building, a certain floor in a building. If they are done with the task earlier in the day, say they are done 4 hours ahead of schedule, they don't actually have another task because they're depending on another team. So they all work as teams working together. But with this app, we actually can predict what other jobs that these workers who are free now can take part in. So when they're done with a task, they completed it as marked, the app will immediately allocate them another task that is not affected by another team which is still working. This way, we actually can shorten all the time frame, and the process of waiting for another task to appear is totally removed. We're starting off with a very small amount of trying to save half an hour for every 50 hours work, and this equates to $3 million in savings. But I think half an hour for every 50 hours of work is a very manageable goal, which we could probably increase to 2 to 3 hours for every 50 hours that they've worked.
Hey, so I really like this space, and it feels there's a ton of unresolved problems, I'd say, in this space in terms of things to go at and in terms of capturing information and improving productivity. You touched on in your example, you had the one around capturing a worker, self-declaration around health, and then you highlighted a few others. Where do you think you'd go first? I mean, what would be the first pitch you'd make in terms of, hey, we're going to solve this particular problem on a site?
Okay, so I think the first thing we need to go down is the COVID-19 situation. It's the most important. Almost all construction industries are struggling because they can't work from home. So the thing is, now a lot of construction sites, they are slowly easing back to working schedules. They end up queuing up, which is the first bottleneck. When you queue up, there's a higher chance of you infecting each other. And after that, there's no way of tracking who works with another person in a work site. But using this app, we want to first allocate the online declaration. So while they are on the way to work or where they have passed the gate, they can declare. The next thing being, after they've reached in and they've gone down to do their specific task, we know which teams are working on each specific task. So that's a form of contact tracing, which is the most important thing on a work site, which usually has a few thousand workers working on it.
Just a very quick one. Just a very, very quick one. How do you ensure the quality of the data input?
So the first thing they were going to implement is currently they use a hand key system, which is basically the workers walk through a turnstile. But we want to start off by using this application and slowly rolling it out. So we're going to start out on a trial basis, and from there we'll start improving the app and making sure that the workers use it on a daily basis.
Okay, so Jeremy, I know you have questions, but the next one is the JLL challenge. So I am sure there will be plenty of time to ask those. Thank you guys. Thank you for pitching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the next team that will come up is for the JLL challenge, Building a Better World. Essentially, JLL is looking for technology solutions that could extend the life cycle of built environments and the satisfaction of those who manage these built environments. This team is also right next door. And Jeremy, you have dibs on questions. You can go first later on.
All right, okay. Hello, everyone. This is our presentation, and we're Team Old Hactl. I'm Brandon.
I'm Lauren. And I'm Serena. And we just wanted to say we wouldn't have made it this far without our lovely mentor, Allison from JLL.
Thank you so much. So the issue we're tackling today is that JLL wants their employees, especially their on-site employees, to feel connected to the larger organization and to feel pride in their work, with the ultimate goal to differentiate themselves from their competitors as the best employer.
So our solution is a mobile-based property management platform for tenants and on-site workers in residential buildings to track work, facilitate communication, and build relationships within the building network.
So in our research, we found that there's a lot of existing tech solutions that JLL itself is invested in for tenants to build community, in both commercial, residential, and retail spaces. Property managers too have their own applications so that they can manage their building and their resources. What's often forgotten, however, especially in Hong Kong's property industry, where everybody operates on the margin, the on-site staff who really make everything happen are forgotten. So what we really want to do is bring them back into the conversation, re-highlight them as important parts of the building's architecture, and really bridge the gap between these three stakeholders. Finally, we want to just emphasize our three pillars of community, equity, and agency in our features, as well as we're taking inspiration from a lot of job design theory, especially autonomy, feedback, skill identity, and task significance.
So how will our app achieve this? Well, first of all, we have a timeline which shows all custodial and security updates as well as any major alerts. The thing is, every single user on the platform has the same timeline and the same homepage, which makes for a more cohesive and inclusive application. Secondly, we have a direct chat, but this is unique because it's not just between staff and other members of staff, but it can also be between tenants and staff. So we're bridging these two groups like we wanted to earlier on. And this means that they can really develop a relationship and the staff can really see the effect that they're giving to the tenants. We also have custom handmade auto-translated stickers that you can send to give a feeling of comfort and community. We also have, using the HSBC open bank software and the API, we also made a payment system and a monetary transfer system so that, for example, during Chinese New Year, when you're looking for that one on-site staff worker and you want to give them a lycee but you can't find them, you can simply use the app and send it to them and, you know, fit the culture. We also have on-shift profiles so you can see who is online and who is working, who's busy on their break and who is offline to make it easier to access certain staff members or simply communicate with them. Finally, we have QR codes so that when you're an on-site staff member, to make it easier, rather than writing down on the sheet of paper, you're able to simply scan and mark, and it'll be marked down on the cloud so that your manager can access the data too.
With these 5 features, we know we can curate a stronger community, communicate equity, and also create agency within the on-site workers, making JLL the best place to work.
Thank you.
you.
We're now open the floor to any questions.
Yeah.
Making JLL the best place to work. Jeremy, what do you think?
Well, that was obviously the best. No, that was fantastic, and I would make one point. You've gone right to actually one of the biggest issues we have, which is the on-site community and how we try to pull them together in these more difficult times. Is this something that we, JLL, will provide to all our staff, all our tenants as an added service? And was there any thought about how we might take it beyond just JLL?
Yeah, so actually what we were thinking was, when we were thinking about this application, we were thinking it could be developed for maybe a certain region or a certain set of buildings. And because it's an application, it is scalable. So you can take it globally within JLL, or you can even take it as a product and give it to other building managers and make it a global product.
Yeah, but the idea is that you do offer it to your staff as sort of an added service.
Any other questions?
I think from a staff perspective, it was fairly clear and sort of the motivation to drive that continuity in that. But from a tenant perspective, what really drives them into using the app and communicating using that means?
I'm going to take this one. I think at the core, like, we all want to feel sort of more connected to the people that are around us. And especially, I think we did focus on residential buildings because that's, I think, where we're most familiar, but also where we feel the most connected already to the support staff, right? You walk into the lobby, you say hi to the person behind the desk, and you go on with your day. I think there is still a want for tenants to hopefully, to create that connection and help make that space a little bit better for you. On the second hand, from a tenant perspective, an aspect or a feature that we didn't explain is also a ticketing function. So for example, if you have a light bulb broken in the common area, or in residential spaces, like an air con dripping from like an upstairs floor, like you'd be able to communicate that directly with the people that are going to fix your problem.
So it was clear that the best feature was the HSBC Lycée component, which was terrific. But just on that theme, I mean, did you think about the just broader recognition and whether you'd get recognition within the on-site team, but also whether you get recognition, tenants recognizing the on-site team and sort of a community around that? Was that something you guys explored?
Yeah, we were trying to focus mostly on positive feedback loops. So what we were trying to do was we were minimizing the way in which you would sort of give negative feedback. And we were focusing on, first of all, having direct conversations between the staff and the tenant, because as we know, if you speak directly with someone, you're more likely to have a positive conversation than if you have to speak around them or do something else, and it's more likely to be constructive. And as for the Lycée, the reason why we did it in a way where it was in the form of a red packet was because, once again, it follows the same like positive, constructible, positive feedback, and it's a way of giving them recognition in a culturally sensitive and appropriate way.
Great, thank you guys. If we launch this somewhere else, we need to find other ways to represent Lycée, maybe in the Western culture. Okay, thank you for dialing. We'll come outside and say hi to you later. Now, coming up, we have the team who won the joint challenge between Jardine Restaurant Group and Microsoft, cooking with AI and big data. So how can F&B company leverage AI and big data to better understand customers, as well as improve the overall experience in restaurant operation in today's new normal? So the team that won, it's Foodie Express.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So this is Foodie Express, an AI-enabled business intelligence platform. So it is a dashboard, a demand prediction device, and an optimization tool. And we help the Pizza Hut to deal with the changing behavior of their customers, namely the increasing demand in delivery. And we divide the challenge into 3 problems: the inefficient dispatch network, the expensive riders, and also the uncertainties. And we aim to tap extra capacity to reduce costs for delivery and also to monitor uncertainties. So in particular, like the delivery cost is very high as $9 US per delivery, which is much higher than I would expect. And we figure out that there are many mismatched jobs, probably due to the availability issues, and also the capacity of the riders are underutilized. Also, there are supply bottlenecks with certain store locations. So as a result, we come up with this artificial intelligence enabled business intelligence platform. So we plug in internal data such as sales demand, sales price, customer zooms, delivery costs, and also historical delivery routes. Also, we plug in external data such as the weather, the traffic, and also in the future, we can easily plug in social demographic data from sensors and also POIs from Google APIs. And the outcome is a demand prediction for dine-in, takeaway, and delivery demands. Also, this platform can also optimize the dispatch network, also the shareability of delivery trips, and also make recommendations for new locations if necessary, and also suggestions for inventory management suggestions. And we will go over the demo in the end. And here is the highlights of the dashboard. So actually from the first row, actually we can see the dashboard, the platform can identify trends such as late hour high demands and also weekend high demands and high demands in the bad weathers. And it predicts demands by order types, by food menu, also by ingredients, so, which can make insights for the inventory management. Also, it tackles with the spatial temporal mismatch problem of the demand and also the delivery network. Here are some highlights of the impact. So based on the existing, based on the data provided, we achieve a model at R² of 0.92, and also with missed predict about 2.5 orders for the next 4 hours at our 83 districts. And also for the optimization part, with the per 1,000 deliveries, actually we can reduce 250 kilometers. And it is about $0.50 saving from the optimization per trip. And also we increase the 6%, that's a lot for the short distance orders. And that means a lot to Pizza Hut because for the short distance deliveries within 1 kilometer, actually part of them can be replaced by cheaper workers to save money. And also for the third part, the shareability.
It looks like there is definitely a lot of great savings that we can get here with some of these prediction capabilities. Any questions from the judges?
Did you want to show us the demo?
Yes, we want to show you the demo, yeah. Because 3 minutes is really limited. So that's this is the platform. So as the manager or of the Pizza Hut or the whole group, they can easily find their shops and with historical data, and also with our prediction of the spatial temporary demands for different categories. And they can compare like the original routes with the optimized routes and see like how much money can be saved. And it's also like spatial temporary. And we can also make suggestions for new stores because obviously like there are some demand, like emerging demands or like long lasting demands that cannot be captured by the existing locations. So we also make suggestions, and the platform can also easily zoom into different areas and compare different like social demographic conditions. And also we do very interesting visualization work. So that's basically the whole framework. And thank you for listening to my presentation.
I'm glad we managed to see the demo. Any other questions?
Hey, so that's an awesome visualization you got there. The number that you had on the previous slide that stuck out for me, 250 kilometer saving in journeys, was that you had the second one, which is about using people to walk the delivery. Was the first one, 250 kilometers, because the customer would call restaurant 1 and you'd actually serve it from restaurant 2? Is that how this would work?
You mean for the second figure? So actually, so let me explain. Yeah, that's a very nice question, first of all. Thank you. Do you mean this number? Do you mean this number here or the number here? I mean, the optimization network. Okay. So basically, we find that there's a phenomenon that many trips are matched to far away restaurants. We guess that's partially because the bottleneck issue. So some the nearby restaurants, they don't have the availability. So part of our model is like predict the demand with a high accuracy rate so that the delivery orders can be matched to the closest restaurant. So by doing this, we can save a lot of distance. And for the third part, this one is about like we calculate how much percentage of the orders can be shared. And we figure out one very important indicator, which is the gap between two orders. And if the gap is within 3 minutes or around 3 minutes between two orders, actually there's like about 50% of the orders can be shared. That can save also a lot of money for the stores. And different stores across in Hong Kong, about like 71 Pizza Hut stores, they have, according to our assumptions, is between like 5 to 30% of the shareability.
One quick last question. All this work, did you do by yourself or do you have a team?
Oh yeah, we have a team. Yeah, let me show you the team. Yeah, because I haven't get a chance. So we have a very strong team, I would say. So I myself, I graduated from MIT and Cornell, and I'm a PhD in regional science. And my teammates, they are also PhD in transportation engineering and also optimization, and a very nice like digital designer. And we have very nice mentor from JRG, yes. Alvin. Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to Foodie Express. Alvin was here earlier today, I think yesterday, talking to some teams as well. Okay, last but not least, we have the winner of the HSBC Add-on Challenge. So Peter has shared a lot about, Open Lab and HSBC's resources that they could share with the teams here. So EcoSave is the team that best leveraged what HSBC could provide to accelerate the solution in the problem statement that they're originally solving.
A very good day to everyone. Introducing to you guys the travel booking platform of tomorrow, where you can book rural tour packages and be sure of your personal safety and health through our mobile web. For the first feature, it encompasses the medical risk assessment. Consumers can consult physicians online to assess their symptoms. For this, an industry tie-up with Dr. Anywhere is apt, as it has a strong presence in the Southeast Asia region, including Malaysia itself. So 2 steps: measuring vitals via an Accenture issued token, consulting the doctor online. Serious cases will be rerouted to hospitals within a 25-click radius. Similarly, we can do it offline via a chatbot. Next is the contingency flight booking function. This product is tailored for the budget airline industry, whereby airlines are suffering huge losses on operating leases due to idle airplanes, by allowing opportunities for consumers to opt for contingency flights with a premium over their tour packages. We are able to give consumers a convenient exit strategy anytime within their trip. So thirdly, we propose a tie-up with HSBC to satisfy the banking needs of travelers. The Vital measuring token comes with an inbuilt HSBC bank token function, which facilitates seamless financial transactions. Lastly, an analytics function can add value to consumer confidence as they can identify affected areas, and this allows consumers to preempt or replan their holiday destination if they realize that an intended venue may have high risk of infection.
Thank you, Wei Jie. So we propose a digital solution as first. Consumer will continue to depend on online resources for healthcare access post-COVID. Secondly, there is more demand for an all-in-one platform. And thirdly, personal health is still the top priority for consumers, especially proven by 750,000 COVID symptom app tracking downloads within 1 day at launch. And who should we sell the app to? So first, the partnership with the insurance industry. Consumers are likely to buy insurance due to post-COVID paranoia. And we noticed that HSBC does not currently offer a COVID-19 insurance plan, and it is outsourced. Thus, we propose that HSBC Insurance should partner with this app and token and package them together for free and easy travelers. And secondly, for the airline industry, it is especially useful when travelers go to rural areas. And lastly, travel agencies for tour groups. So these consumers are from tour groups to strengthen the brand trust for tour packages for rural areas as well.
This is Ibu Fatima, an indigenous tour provider living in Sarawak, Malaysia. Like many rural communities in Sarawak, she earns roughly 700 Hong Kong dollars a month from hosting local tours. The lack of technologies to access to wider markets restricts these communities from generating sustainable income. This is how the future of travel is going to look like. Consumer confidence for domestic travel has increased extensively by 60%. 64% of the consumers are also looking to support socially responsible companies. Outdoor scenic attractions are voted as the most popular future travel destination. We rise by lifting others. Our travel platform aims to uplift the rural communities through tourism. We believe the rebirth of the tourism industry will go hand in hand with empowered rural tourism. Our solution, a revolutionary travel booking and medical app, will change the way we travel in a socially good, convenient, and most importantly, safe way. Thank you, and we are Team EcoSafe.
Thank you, guys. A lot of Singaporean teams here. Any questions from the judging panel?
Hey, so a question for me about how you would take this idea to market. There's pieces here that you could bolt on to existing solutions. So you could take a Skyscanner or TripAdvisor and you could add in some additional pieces into what they're doing, like some new recommended tours and trips for people, or the HSBC insurance. Do you think, we're just interested in your thoughts around whether you want to have it as a set of bolt-on capabilities for existing solutions, as opposed to launching your own thing?
It's not we are concentrating more on corporate partnership, because we feel that there's a lot of a lot of tools on the market that's already readily available, and they have like very strong capability, like the S3 data analytics app where they can track COVID-19 and stuff like that. So this app it concentrates more on the business to business target audience. We are trying to bring together all the big corporate players, like the telemedicine app Doctor Anywhere, HSBC Insurance, and second one, budget airlines package. So we are trying to bring an app that provides safety and not only that contingent avenues for customers to actually look for, so that they feel that our app is actually good enough for them, and
one-stop solution.
It's a one-stop solution for everything. Yeah.
Clearly, Accenture and HSBC got to get into this business model together, right? Just a quick question on I think Carnival Cruises would be very proud of the Compass wristband that you pulled into your picture there. Just question how that really works. Is that really a symptom checker? Explain sort of how the connectivity of health check and booking comes together.
Okay, so we took an inspiration for that token from what Accenture had already did, the Ocean Medallion. So what we are trying to package is not only just the financial aspect of it, from using by going cashless and have seamless financial transactions, but also input infrared technology, simple infrared technology to measure the temperature and also vitals for those already in the market, for example, used in Apple Watch, to measure your ECG and also temperature. But it shouldn't be limited in that aspect, and that's why we integrated the financial aspect to it as well. And how we will market this token will be together with the app and to target the mass market through insurance, because post-COVID travel paranoia, customers will most likely buy insurance. And not only are they protected financially, but also through virtual protection as well.
Okay. Thank you. That's the last presentation. Well done, everyone, for presenting all the top 10 teams. I will now big round of applause for everyone. What happens now is I would like to invite all of the judges. Please move to a separate room that we have prepared for you so you can do a quick deliberation. Karen will have a video and a few words to share whilst we wait for the judges to come back with the results. All the pitching teams, can you please stay on the line because we will be doing a short award ceremony later, and we would be displaying your video on screen. And all of the judges of the individual challenges, please also do stay with us because we will be inviting you on stage for a quick picture later on. Okay, so Karen.
Thank you so much. So exciting, right? I cannot believe they still have the energy to pitch after 36 hours, high on coffee and Red Bull, I'm sure, right? So definitely a huge round of applause for all of them. So we're gonna take just 10 minutes. And while we are waiting, you know, with Hackathon, we also had, you know, SIS running. So I would like to show you a little of a recap to what happened outside of this room during the last 36 hours as well. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled. We have Sonali back here this year during SIS 20. Sonali from Green Queen and Eco Warehouse, serial co-founder and super active in the impact space. So you cannot run an impact summit without having Sonali with us.
I think that's too kind, but thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And what a production. Wow, amazing job you have all done.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats to the team.
I was going to say the team behind the scenes. Here you're in the ballroom, so I'm going to give you
I'm amazed. This is a huge operation.
So tell me, how is SIS different this year from last year?
Well, I think the biggest change, obviously, is that it's virtual. But I think you've partnered up with a fantastic backend software. And for me, what I love about the virtual fact is that you can really have people from all over the world. And I love the fact that you can kind of log in and see everyone that's attending and connect with whoever you want. I find that to be super useful because, unfortunately, live you can't do that. You can't search people. You sort of have to rely on just discovery. So I think it's actually kind of really useful.
Right. Remember the conference where you're like, okay, meeting point at that time, and then you show up in the networking area and the person is not here.
Right, or you might miss out on people, whereas when you're browsing, you can, it's just a different, it's super efficient and super helpful.
Cool, and we hope actually creating impact that this will last because now people are already connected, right? So our platform stays on beyond the conference.
Oh, you will?
Yeah,
okay, fantastic. Yeah.
And the thing is, first time ever, probably you do not have to scan 200 business cards, right? You're already directly connected.
Exactly. And for me, obviously, I'm Green Queen. I love the lack of paper, flyers, business cards. I love it.
Tell me, what are you doing this year at Startup Impact Summit?
Super exciting this year. I got to interview Nick Hala, who's the international director for Impossible Foods, one of the companies, if not the company, that has really changed the conversation about meat made from plants.
Yeah.
So we had a fantastic discussion about everything, where they're going, what has changed in terms of people being so interested in plant-based foods, and just kind of the future of food.
Absolutely. And again, this year, really consciously, we have put a linkage to the 17 UN SDGs, and we could not have run the conference without having Nick from Impossible, right? That's kind of.
I'm so thrilled to see that for this year, because because what I love about SIS this year is there is that kind of open connection between business and impact. And I really do believe that if you want to be a successful company going forward, no matter where you are in the world, no matter your industry, impact is going to have to be built into your DNA. So these are conversations that need to happen and connections that need to be made.
Yes, absolutely. Now, the other angle really for us was important to showcase diversity. So obviously, we talk a lot about Hong Kong and what a great hub it is, but we showcase companies from around the world. Right?
I think your speaker reel was the most diverse group of speakers I've ever seen, and loved that it was so many women. Of course, I do. I'm feminist. It was amazing. It just really felt like you could sense the diversity and variety, and I think more people felt connected to it because of that.
Natalie, thank you so much for all your support throughout the year, and obviously also for Startup Impact Summit.
Thank you for doing everything you do in the startup community.
We're all thrilled to have Nick Haller with us from Impossible Food. Nick, tell us, what is your experience at Startup Impact Summit?
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you for having me here. I think these forums are huge for looking at how we can change the world and continue to progress to a better and better world as we go. Encouraging entrepreneurs to think big. So yeah, it's been a great experience so far.
Amazing. Thank you for being here and giving back to the community. We could not run an Impact Summit without having Impossible Food with us. Tell us about the impact that you are creating.
Yeah, so we talked a lot in the conversation about the impact of Impossible. And really for me, it's like I want to work on things that can have global environmental positive impact. And nothing is bigger as a challenge than animal agriculture. It uses 45% of the world's land surface. United Nations projects that meat consumption will increase 70% by 2050. It doesn't work. And so with Impossible, we're looking at that and saying, animals are a mechanism of converting plants into products that we love, but they're very inefficient. So if we go to the plants and we can create products that consumers like better based on taste, we can produce more food than the world gets today with a tiny fraction of the land and resources. And that's why Impossible exists.
Brilliant, yes, and nothing better than agile companies, innovative companies to deliver against the 17 UN SDGs.
That's right.
So we hope to have you back next year at SIS. Until when? What are some of the key milestones you want to hit?
Well, we hit some big ones in the last couple of months. We've accelerated our retail footprint in the U.S. from 150 stores to now more than 5,000. We launched an Impossible breakfast sausage the last 4 weeks with Burger King as a croissant sandwich, a breakfast sandwich at Starbucks, and now across diners across the country. We have a lot more products coming up, a lot more places we're going to go, and we're just getting started.
Amazing. So we'll see each other next year until we eat our way through with Impossible Meat. Thank you so much.
Nick. Thank you.
Bye. Well, actually, I'm super thrilled now to show you backstage of SIS Startup Impact Summit. I got the question, how do you bring such a huge tech conference alive online? Well, here we are, right, in the war room.
Exactly. I mean, it's not just a war room, it's an exciting war room. We have a lot of people that are very, very hard working and dedicated to making sure that we can bring the best experience to you online.
Yeah, so the short answer is just with an extraordinarily amazing team and extraordinary tech, right? So that's why I have Graham, who's our CTO. He calls himself the alchemist, right? I call him the best coder in the world.
I prefer alchemists. I like to take anything that we can kind of put together and just make it come into gold. And that works. Especially when we're bringing the largest virtual conference in Hong Kong's history to this global scene. I mean, we talked something so big as SIS last year. How do we top it? Go online.
Yes, make it even bigger, right? Invite the world.
Yeah.
Today at Startup Impact Summit, we want to create impact, so we packed 365 days of startup life into one conference. Little did I know how true I would be when I say 365 days in 2 days.
Well, I mean, we started last year, before everything happened. We had 6 months of planning. We tried to cram all that together. Then we had to delay, but I mean, it's happy because we got to plan in extraordinary experiences. So many amazing speakers we've had over this conference. Yeah. That's really, really come together over these last 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So literally planning a whole year forward. But you're right. I mean, given the fact that we had an additional 6 months to bring the whole thing online. So originally it was planned in February, right? We actually just increased the number of stages, of tracks, and the number of people. I mean, again, always so thrilled how many people come and join us, share our startup passion, and bring this to life. And you see all the amazing team plus the amazing volunteers.
They only see part of it. We still have a big, big room over there. People really, really hard together, working and making sure that we can keep going and bringing the best experience possible. Yeah. I mean, so work tirelessly working so that you can make sure you have the experience that we really want to bring to you. And so I know that I'm enjoying it. I know that all the feedback we're getting, everybody's so much putting themselves into Lark and feedback and sharing themselves and putting everything together. It's really, really exciting. I think the fact that we've had over 4,000 people active on the event throughout any given time has been pretty exciting. So there's been a range of people all around the world from any different continent coming in and seeing all the different meetings, watching all the different videos. And I'm getting so many feedback of people like, I couldn't make it. Are we going to the recap? And wanting to make sure that they still capture all of the same exciting experiences, even if after the event actually happens.
Yeah, and that's a very, very good point. So one is obviously the talks, right? But also the engagement through Lark, our super interactive app where you can you put WhatsApp, Zoom, G Suite on steroids, so that's what Lark. The thing is going to stay on, right? So SIS closes for a few months now, but people are connected already. They don't have to scan business cards. They're already talking.
Yeah, we're not wasting any of that stuff, and then we still have a platform that we can continuously communicate on throughout the entire time until 2021 SIS.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so with that, we hope you stay tuned in. And I have to say, I loved, of course, all the huge support from all our partners, from our sponsors and the speakers. But at the heart, everything we do, it's about the startups and having so many startups come in, connect, showcase what they do, and get the connections they need to go and scale their business.
Exactly. You got hashtag 20, hashtag startup passion, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to you guys continue watching, and it's going to be great to see you guys again next year.
Let's talk to some of the teams. Actually, we have some of the students' teams here. Why don't we bring them in and we can have a chat with them? Rare Elements. Hi, guys. I know we had a chat earlier on. Maybe take one mic. You guys could share. So, I only met 2 of your teammates last time. Maybe introduce the next teammate. Oh, this one?
Hi, I'm Jody, and I'm part of the Rare Elements marketing team.
Okay. How did you feel after the sort of round 1 pitch today? Did you think you guys had it in you and you would win?
I think it was more like we were energized and it was like a bit of a relief after such long hours. We're not a whole lot of sleep last night, so it was more like, yes, we're happy with our performance. So it was a great feeling for that relief.
Did you think what did you think the judging panel was nice? Did they ask really tough and difficult questions?
The judging panel is awesome. So they really did ask a lot of questions on the practicality level. For example, certain methodologies that we have adopted in terms of our technology. So that was awesome since we're able to showcase what we have done in terms of the demo as well. So it was incredible.
Great. Okay. Glad to meet you guys in person now. I think the judging panel has come back with the result. So I'd like you guys to maybe leave from that side of the stage. I can take a mic back from you. Thank you. And Anne, I would leave it to you to introduce and tell us who the winner is, and we will pass on the check for you guys to take a picture.
Are we doing each of the individual ones first?
Yes, but we will announce the grand prize first, and then they can get the picture. Yes.
Yes. All right.
Oh, I believe that they're still getting the check ready for the grand prize, though. Yes, because you guys are too quick and too swift with your deliberations. That's why it's taking a while. So we will start with the others before, whilst we wait for the check writing. Yes, we do. We have all of them.
Who do we have first?
Okay, we're just going to go in the order. And maybe you could stand, I think, here.
HSBC up here. Okay, the first one is this is your HSBC, is that one? That's yours, right? Yep, that's yours. Charles? Okay.
So I'm super happy to announce the winner of the HSBC add-on challenge, the team that presented a fantastic travel-related, very, very relevant to today's COVID-19 travel bubble situation. The team is EcoSafe.
Congratulations. Move to the middle and we'll bring them up on screen so you can take a picture with them.
EcoSafe, come up and check your hands.
EcoSafe will come up digitally. The Zoom admin is sorting it out. They will come up on screen. virtually. Maybe that's a better way to phrase things. Sorry, not digitally. Okay, so they're not on the call anymore, but maybe you guys could take a picture with the logo. Season. Photo. Thank you. Next, I will let Jeremy announce the winner of the Mandarin Oriental Challenge.
Okay, the winner of the Mandarin Oriental Challenge with a future concierge app, Travelog.
Travelog is right there behind you, so you can take a picture with them. Jeremy, maybe stand here. You're here. There we go. No, it's not. It's not. You're not where Yes, okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
Great, and this is for Hactl. So this is Symphony Technologies from Hactl. How do you do this?
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. We're really so happy. We're really thrilled. This is our sensor. Can't wait to use it a bit more in the future.
There you go. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well done to all.
The winner of the Jardine International Motors is Arcixco Limited. I think they're here, Jay.
They're coming. Oh, they're here. Stand this way.
Here. Because they're physically here, hence, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Very exciting. Okay, we have Hong Kong Land coming up next. Kent, Jennifer, and Shirley, please.
The winner of Hong Kong Land, Problem Stain and Ezra Elements.
This way, please. Here, to your right.
I imagine you guys get your Mandarin Oriental lunch, you know.
Kent, this way, please.
Yeah, okay. And he's here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Accenture, John, Maria, Robert.
E.T., you want to come up? E.T., come up.
E.T.
Yeah, come on. And the winner for the Ready for Takeoff Accenture Challenge was the Chan sisters.
Yes, they will appear virtually. Maybe you guys can split up, some stand on the left and some on the right. Maybe you guys go to the other side. Other side. Yes.
Okay, next, JLL.
Yeah, with no spoilers yet. I just want to say very quickly, the people that we selected for the winner of our challenge really, not only did they understand the problem statement, they actually embodied what we're trying, the kind of energy and excitement and collaboration that we're trying to inject into our workforce, as Jeremy mentioned earlier. So with that, we just want to say congratulations to Old Hack Donald. We did deduct points because of the name, but they prevailed anyway, so nice job.
Can we do pose?
Yeah,
we got one more. It's an H.
Wow.
That's very cool.
So many.
Okay. Thank you.
One more, last one. Ready? Okay,
Thank you.
and then we have Andy from Gammon.
So the winners for the Gammon's challenge is
it's awesome.
Elk. Yes. Congratulations.
I think there's one more person coming up. Amelina.
Yes. Can't turn on my video. The host has to turn it on.
Maybe do a gesture via video, excitement. Yes, 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 yes.
Well done, team. Well done.
I got last person.
Oh, one more. Okay. Great. Okay. And then we have Callie for the JRG and the Microsoft Challenge.
We look like.
Winner, Foodie Express. Congratulations.
Coming virtually up. There we go.
Hi. Thank you. Wait, can I take a screenshot? Thank you. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
He's the only one who made me that one. Okay, and then we have Karen and Gordon for Dairy Farm.
All right, so the winner of the Dairy Farm Retail Reboot is Manning's Farm. Very creative name as well.
We copied that basically.
Yeah, it's fine right now.
Okay, congratulations.
Okay, that's all of the top 10 sort of gift giving, certificate giving session. Accenture already done it. Yeah.
The team wasn't there.
The team wasn't there.
No, we got them on the screen though.
Yeah. Okay, so
HSBC. Oh yeah, cool.
oh yes, they were here. EcoSafe, are you guys here?
Yeah.
Here, this one. EcoSafe. Okay, there we go.
Can we take a photo? Screenshot, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can hear us.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Okay, so that's it. I think it's a fun experience for everyone trying to take pictures with others on Zoom call. I will now pass it to Anne to tell us who is the winner for the grand prize. Anne.
This is the most exciting moment. I get to do the grand prize. Really, really hard. My God, what great presentations tonight. Really appreciate all the effort. But the grand prize does go to Foodie Express.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hi, guys. Thank you. I can take another screenshot now. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. Really appreciate like organizing this. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well done.
And now for a big group photo, I would like to invite all of the judges. And Charles, please, let's go all take a group photo together with Foodie Express. Charles.
Yeah, let's, we can sit on this side.
Jeremy, Michael, Callie. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Maybe sit down. Yes. Okay.
I can.
No, go the other way.
Oh, stop moving. No. Stop. Pause. Move to your right. 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 To your right.
Stop. To my right. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Stop.
Stop.
Okay. Smile. Camera's here. Oh, yes, he got the goodie box, of course. Yeah. Okay, last photo.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And now I think we. Okay, we are now going to turn it over to Startup Impact to close the whole day.